Christian Slater's portrayal of Harry Morgan in Dexter. Original Sin raises some eyebrows given the news of James Remar's comeback as the character in Dexter. Resurrection, but there is reason for the difficult casting choice. Remar was a member of the original Dexter cast, but since Dexter ended in 2013, he has not been associated with the franchise. He will therefore be playing Harry for the first time in more than 10 years when he returns for the Dexter New Blood miniseries. For the simple reason that the original actor was now too old to play Harry in the 1991 setting of Dexter. Original Sin, Christian Slater took Remar's place. Slater had to fill the void and take over the position. Even though there are some meta loose ends that aggressively tap on the fourth wall, Remar's return to the role of Dexter's late father is possible because Dexter Original Sin is set within the franchise, unlike Resurrection. The Dexter franchise has a lot of different eras and moving parts, so when discussing different parts of the story, some very careful considerations must be made. Remar has been established as the face of Harry Morgan in Michael C. Hall's portrayal of the series' title character, even though it would have been illogical for him to return to his role in Original Sin. In the same way, Dexter, played by Patrick Gibson, recognizes his father as the Christian Slater version. Even though the formula isn't flawless, it at least makes consistency possible. The fact that each iteration of Harry Morgan played radically different parts in their respective times is another issue. Remar's Harry is mainly depicted in flashbacks in the original series, but he also serves as a psychological representation of Dexter's voice of reason. Stated differently, Hall's character has effectively outsourced his conscience to his father's memory, which only he can see and communicate with. Harry has been dead for about 10 years before the events of Dexter's first episode. The real and present-day Harry, in contrast, is Slater's portrayal of the character. The series' in-universe timeline does not necessarily correspond with the order in which the 4 Dexter series were produced. While the events of Dexter and Dexter New Blood do follow a chronological timeline, Dexter Original Sin's 2024 premiere marks the first time the series has delved back in time to observe Dex's early years in any significant detail. The plot will recur and land following the events of Dexter New Blood when Dexter Resurrection premieres in 2025. The best order to watch the shows is up for debate, but it may be more advantageous to watch them in the order they were released. There are a number of allusions and clues to Dex's future that would be overlooked if seen in isolation, even though Dexter Original Sin doesn't necessarily require prior knowledge of the franchise. This doesn't, however, prove either side of the debate over the best order to watch the Dexter series. Thus, it would have been entirely reasonable to cast Remar or Slater as Harry in Dexter Resurrection. Slater would be present in Original Sin before abruptly changing into Remar in Dexter and Resurrection, but the backstage transition between the two would still offer a compelling explanation. The show refers to Dexter's need to kill as his dark passenger. In order to control these impulses and kill only those he believed deserved it, Harry assisted his adopted son in creating a system. This frequently required tracking down other shady characters, including other serial killers. One of Dexter's coping strategies after Harry's death was to conjure up a picture of his deceased father, who would guide him in following the rules he established for him. Deb Morgan, played by Jennifer Carpenter in Dexter New Blood, passed away at the conclusion of the show's last season. Carpenter has not yet been revealed as a member of the Dexter Resurrection cast, despite the possibility that she will return. Remar's return as Harry will therefore probably allow him to regain his role as Dexter's fictitious support system. Dex's thoughts and feelings regarding fatherhood will be complicated because the first episode of Original Sin reveals that Hall's character survived being shot by his own son at the end of New Blood. In order to help him deal with the trauma that Dexter Original Sin demonstrates he must endure, it would be ideal if he called upon Harry once more in Dexter Resurrection.